Hey, it's Sash. I've been feeling some resistance the last few days to finish my next song, and it's both sort of, it comes from the inside and also from the outside. And from the inside, it's a sort of, it's an old friend. I think we've all felt it, but for me it's especially familiar. The not wanting to finish something and to then have to let it go, sort of release it out into the world, then it's no longer yours in a sense, right? So I'm familiar with that feeling, and it's nothing new. I know how to work through it, but I've also been finding resistance from the outside, right? So for instance, you're not going to hear it now because I've got a mic here, but there's a lot of sort of construction noise outside, right? So I've been using that as a bit of an excuse not to want to finish. And actually, there's not even that much to finish in this song, which is called Childhood Naps. And there's only just a couple of instruments that I need to record. And then I've got to mix it and send it off to distribution, right? But so there's that noise, and sort of cling to it a little bit to think, no, I can't do the final recordings with that noise, right? Then yesterday morning, I had planned to work for a couple of hours, and the gate in the house broke, so I had to go and fix that. And then I hit my head on one of these beams in the studio, which I don't know if you can see, but I hit it pretty hard, so that left me a bit groggy and dizzy for the day. And this is all to say, all these things are real, they're out in the world, they happen to you, they happen on the inside, they come from the outside, but it's all resistance. In the end, it's all stopping you from, as they say, applying ass to chair to do the work and finish it, right? So I know I've been feeling that resistance the last few days, maybe even weeks, and sometimes you get into the cycle where it's hard to break out of this resistance. And this morning I sat down and I was thinking a bit about it, and I was planning my day. I was thinking of when I was going to work on the song and when I was going to work on these other things, and it felt a bit too constrained, right? So I don't know how it happened, but I just started writing a bit about resistance, right? And I ended up writing, it was sort of, it was kind of an essay, but kind of a poem. I don't know, it's probably somewhere in between. But I thought I'd read it to you. This is my February 2025 notebook. I don't know if you can see that. This is a pocket notebook that I tend to carry around with me to think. I don't really keep ideas in these, I just think in these. Sometimes I'll write little thoughts, or I'll just work out things in them, right? So here's the little piece I wrote this morning. It's called Ode to Resistance. Okay, so here we go. Ode to Resistance. Hello, Resistance, my old friend. I see you've come to visit once again. Come in, stay a while, spend the night, hell, spend a few days if you like. But you know you can't stay, and we can't be friends. We're different, you and I. You want things to remain the same, to be static. And that goes against nature, against the universe. I want to flow with time. I want to embrace change, to embrace movement. And so yes, you may come in. Yes, I may have a chat or two with you. I may even break bread with you. See how your idea of the static and non-creation could seem comforting for a bit. But we're not meant to be. In the end, you must go your way and I must continue mine. I don't hate you. I accept your existence. But I know one of us is condemned to never be satisfied. as the world will never stop moving. But hey, old friend, come in. I know you're restless. So that's it. And I think the final thing I'd like to say about this is that I find it quite beautiful how in wrestling with these moments where you're not able to advance perhaps as fast as you'd like, and you're facing this obstacle of resistance, sometimes you can try to push and push against it, but in the end it's when you almost surrender to it, like I did this morning when I came to a bit of a tipping point, right, where for weeks, and especially the last few days, I've been trying to really wrestle it, right, and I just couldn't do it anymore, right, so I just sat down and I wrote to it, and that's precisely in that moment of surrender is where I found a new creation, right, but you've got to be willing to go to that edge of discomfort. And I find that quite beautiful and interesting, because now having this ode to resistance is going to help me in a couple of ways. One, maybe now, today, I don't know, maybe not, but now and in the future, when I'm facing resistance, I might remember this little poem, essay, whatever it is, and it might help me move forward. But two, which I think is more important, is when I have those moments and I remember it, there's always this little spark of joy when you remember things you've created in the past, right? And that's going to live with me forever. So from this adversity and this obstacle of having to finish this song, this other little piece was born, and that's going to stay with me. And that was completely unplanned. I never thought I'd write that, right? This morning I thought I was going to work on the song and try to overcome resistance in that way. So I guess it's an ode to resistance, and it's also an ode to being able to inhabit those moments of discomfort and hoping that sometimes you'll find little sparks of creation in them. I think that's all I want to say today. So yeah, hope you enjoyed it.